of this stuff, or because you put $1 billion bond on them. Okay? Nobody collects on these bonds. It's not real. I'm tired of patriots believing it and going to prison. Now, we should be notifying government as free humans that we're not their slaves, and we know they're doing this, and take over our counties and cities and communities and bring these crooks to justice. We have the righteous right as free sentient beings to not be their slaves, and their government is illegitimate. I'm just telling you, they're going to ignore whatever paper you file with them. Now, you do file a vaccine exemption form, but that turns your right into a privilege. How do you file an exemption form on something that isn't even a law? Now I got a headache. I just do this too much. Paul in Missouri. Go ahead. You're on the air. No, Jeff in Missouri. And then Paul in Wisconsin. Go ahead, Jeff.
Alex, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to give you another headache, but I want to try to be nice to you, okay? You got the wrong information about the Roman Catholic Church. The Pope did not call for world political authority. If you take time to read his encyclical, there is no mention of world political authority that he put in his encyclical. Number two, the Roman Catholic Church is the only organized religion fighting against eugenics. They have been from the very beginning.
All right, let me stop you. I'm going to let you continue. This may be the last call because I told the guys they'd be out of here by 10 after, and we're now there. Listen, we may take a few more. This is a very in-depth issue, just like the last caller. Number one, I get accused of working for the Catholic Church when I'm not even Catholic, but I'm not saying Catholics are bad. And so there's that whole crazy kind of Israeli-funded operation that anybody that criticizes world government that then, kind of use a fake conspiracy theory against you to do that. But it is true that Pope John Paul II did call for a new world order in Latin. He did have that weird group with hundreds of religions there at the St. Peter's Basilica calling for it. I have the clip in Latin. My wife speaks Italian. I had her watch it because she lived in Italy for 4 years, and she said, no, yeah, he's calling for a global political authority, a loving globalization, and Ratzinger's called for all sorts of stuff. I mean, Pope Benedict. So I do know they speak out against abortion and eugenics. So I do know that's true, because I flip around on XM and I've listened to Vatican Radio, and every time I listen, that's probably like 5 times they're speaking out against eugenics. So you're right, they are doing that. But at the same time, they are calling for this other stuff. Go ahead and make your point.
Read the encyclical. Don't listen to Reuters, okay? Reuters are liars. They hate the Catholic Church.
So are you saying that Pope Benedict did not call for a global government?
That's right. There's no mention of it in his encyclical at all. Reuters completely fabricated that.
Why don't you write a blurb for us and with footnotes and send it to writers@infowars.com, and we'll look into it.
Okay, I appreciate it.
All right.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. I appreciate your call. We got Paul, Wisconsin, Tom, Ronnie, Rob, Ed. You know what? The crew's always nice. It comes in here on Sundays, but I'm going to leave it up to them. Guys, we can take 2 more calls or end it now. I'm going to leave it up to 2 more. Okay, we'll talk to Paul in Wisconsin. Go ahead.
Alex, I was wondering if you were aware that Clifford Carnicom found in his samples, he found freeze-dried red blood cells, desiccated erythrocytes.
Sir, Austin did test and found it. I've played mainstream newscast where state health department in Washington State tested it, and it was white blood cells. Yes, there's biological, there's chemical. Whole police stations get sick from this stuff. This is real. They are spraying us constantly.
The perfect vehicle for a bioweapon.
Yeah, and most of these weapons are binary, meaning they give you part of the weapon now, then they have the antidote for it, and they give you the second part later. They are doing, sir, they admit, my film Endgame, tens of thousands of admitted tests that killed Americans. It's all for eugenics. These people are absolutely out of control. And how do you get the public to care about this instead of Michael Jackson?
Alex, could I just read you a list off Clifford Carnicom's site?
Yeah, by the way, I've told my producer.
Yeah, go ahead. This stuff. Here I go. Aluminum, barium, boron, cadmium, calcium, chromium, copper, iron, lead, magnesium, manganese, nickel, potassium, silicon, sodium, strontium, and yeah, I said it, strontium, it's strontium, and vanadium and zinc. That's what's in the air. And that's all I have to say. We love you, Alex. Have a nice afternoon.
God bless you, brother. Yeah, it's, we called Carnicom about a year ago, and he said, I'll come on in a month. I'm finishing a project right now. And then you forget to get him back on. I want notes all over Dude's desk. Carnicom. I was talking about Carnicom with Charlie Sheen this morning. We need to get this information, because I want Carnicom back on, not just the Skywatch lady and others, now that they're just admitting all this crap. Oh, there's no chemtrailing. You say we're spraying barium salts and aluminum and all this. That's not going on. It's not a terraforming project that happens to also be toxic to reproductive organs. And then, oh, to save the earth, we want to spray you with exactly what the kooks said we were spraying them with. Last call, and I'm sorry to Ronnie and Rob and Ed, but we got time for Tom in Florida, and that's it. Tom, you're on the air worldwide.
Hey, man.
Hey, buddy.
I got one thing to say. It's a perfect introduction to what I'm saying. The only element that there is that can bind to every other element is oxygen. The medicinal use of oxygen. Nikola Tesla invented the first ozone machine, back in 1890 for medicinal use.
Yeah, oxygen is better than silver solution. It's better than antibiotics. It eats through steel, and we're these awesome creatures that live in a high radiation environment right up against the sun that breathe a gas that'll eat steel. And I'm surprised they haven't said it's toxic, needs to be banned, but they're already trying to ban what plants breathe. Carbon dioxide.
It's oxygen, all right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's oxygen. In the bioactive form. There's a video out from Canada, Oxygen in the Politics of Medicine, Ozone in the Politics of Medicine. It points out there was a clinic in Germany.
That's a conspiracy theory. Oxygen, hold on. Oxygen isn't good. I mean, I do breathe it. It does make me live, but it's evil. And we need to. In fact, there is some talk now.
It's not carbon dioxide that's polluting the earth. It's a lack of oxygen.
Sir, I was being sarcastic. I know. No. I mean, we need the carbon cycle is sunlight, water, carbon dioxide, and oxygen. All four are needed for life. But there is some talk now about restricting oxygen as well. They're now saying oxygen may be bad. I always joked about that. And we're going to be the conspiracy kooks. We believe oxygen is good.
1890. He had a cure for everything.
Well, I know oxygen is really great, and I appreciate your call. Anytime I hear cure for everything, you got to look out. But oxygen is really important. Animals do breathe it. Animal life does live off of it. I know that's a conspiracy theory and shocking to some, but carbon dioxide and oxygen are good. Well, that was 2 hours and 18 minutes of transmission today. Great job to the crew in there. We're now simulcasting the Sunday transmission at prisonplanet.tv. We'll join you in retransmission from 2 hours ago when I was covering the science director of the entire federal government and his textbook about taking your babies at birth, CPS ruling, paramilitary force, killing your babies, toxins in your food and water, and a lot more. Retransmission with some of the most important information I've ever covered. A huge break in the case, a textbook that covers the full spectrum of what they're doing, not a piece here and not a piece there. This is key. Great job, crew. We'll see you back tomorrow live, 11 a.m. Central at Infowars.com. Let's take these bastards on. Let's take our planet back and say, you're not going to exterminate us. We're coming for you, New World Order. Boom!